Now, that was a messy win, a very messy win by the Nigerian Super Eagles. Now, you're welcome to the channel. This is Ugomado Football Channel. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's dive straight into it. Now, of course, we're talking about FIFA U-20 World Cup fixture, Nigeria versus Saudi Arabia. Nigeria won 3-2, so should be happy with the win. I'm sure every Nigerian fan out there, be happy with getting all 3 points, having points on the board, having goals scored. I'm sure the coaching crew as well will be happy with it. The NFF, everyone connected with Nigerian football will be sort of happy with it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm happy with the 3 points. And if you know me, if you're watching this channel, if you had discussions with me, I'll take 3 points. I'll take 3 points. I'll take a win every day of the week, twice on Sunday, over a scintillating performance that ends up in a loss, or drop points that means you don't progress in the tournament, or you fall out of a 2-legged tie or whatever. Now, that's true, but we still have to pick apart this performance. It was absolutely horrible performance. There are some bright spots. There are some areas where you can say, yeah, this player did well, this individual player did well, but overall, as a team structure, it was absolutely horrible. Now, first off, look at the midfield. Yeah, Daniel Daga, defensive midfield shield, sports danger, wins the ball. But when you get to the other side of what you expect a midfield to produce, which is being on the ball, controlling pace of play, creating opportunities for teammates, Ayuma, it's just not it. He is just not it. Yes, I get it's a young man. Maybe with time he's going to come good. He's going to mature. He's going to be that guy that many people think he is. I'm sure Zubairu thinks he is that guy. That's why he keeps giving him chance after chance after chance. The AFCON, they give him the opportunity. He played all through. In this FIFA World Cup, he's played the first game against Norway. He's played this game again. Started midfield versus Saudi Arabia. But the control of the midfield, you can't see him creating any chances. I know now it's easy to criticize Eric Parabo, and I grant one of his biggest fans. I would say the chance he had 1v1 was the goalkeeper. He should have scored. He should have done better with it. The goalkeeper saved it, and I think after that it began to get into his head a bit. So each time he got anywhere remotely near the 18-yard box, he would smash a shot from whatever angle it was. And that's one thing he has to learn as a young man, which is calm down, be composed. Once you're in and around the 18-yard box, you're now in your own sort of domain, your habitat. You should be at peace, you should be calm, and maybe watch some. I think he can be Nigeria's version of Mbappe. I think he's not a physical monster like your Victor Osimhen, but I think he has the pace and the guile to be Nigeria's version of Kylian Mbappe. So if he can add some techie stuff to his game, I think he will really be a world-class player in a couple of years' time. So, but once again, apart from that 1v1 opportunity, he was feeding off scraps. Again, it was just, there was no tailored pass. I want to get this pass accurately to my number 9. I want to get this pass accurately to the players up front. It was just boom. Let's hope it gets to someone. We're going to play it. We know Eric Parabo has space. We're just going to play it and hope it gets to him. That's a strategy. It doesn't work in football. Never ever worked in any level of football. Now, going on to the defense, I have to talk about the bad spots first before going on to a couple of good spots. Going on to the defense, Akinyele, the 2 games, he hasn't really covered himself in glory. So at least in my opinion anyway, I don't know what you guys think. If you think he's done well, let me know in the comment section. For me, I just feel like he's struggling. He's really struggling. But let's see how come the next game versus Colombia. Let's see if he's able to improve on it. That's if he starts. And then Bameyi as well. Bameyi is a good defender. I think he's slightly better than Akinyele, but there's a problem I have with Bameyi. And to be fair, a lot of defenders have this issue as well, which is I want to win the ball. I want to make that Hollywood tackle. I want to turn my legs into the tentacles of an octopus, right? So the fact that I'm behind an attacking player, I have to force my way to bend my foot in front of the defender to win the ball. At all times, I must fly forward in front of the attacking player that has his back to me to get the ball. And most times what happens with that is you defender, rush in, and then the opponent spins around the other way, and then you're left looking like an absolute dum-dum. So that's one area he needs to clean out of his game. And then the goalkeeper, he was at fault for that second goal, the second equalizer by Saudi Arabia. He was at fault for that one, because there's no way you should be beat by that ball. You saw the ball coming all the way. There was you were in such a position where you didn't have to be off your line, and he was. That's why the header by the Saudi Arabian, attacker just beat him and sailed over into the net. So that's that bit, And then talking about this Kamaldeen is meant to be this guy, this new JJ. I struggle to see though, but let's see more of him to know. He's meant to be this new JJ. He's meant to be, some Iwobi 2.0 or something, even if I think Iwobi and JJ, apart from their, the fact that JJ is his uncle, that's where the similarity ends in terms of style of play or footballers that they are. So in other words, you're trying to say Kamaldeen is this productive player, mesmeric, creative player, but you don't give him game time. And you keep playing Ayuma, game in, game out, game in, game out, game in, game out. When you have a Daniel Daga in the team, I don't see why you need an Ayuma. You don't need anyone to do any defensive sort of thing, especially if you're going with a 4-4-2. Come on now, have someone creative as part of that pairing. Daga can be the guy that does the donkey work, but come on now, you should have someone who is creative on the ball. And Ayuma, I've watched him time and time again, he just isn't. I want to sit back here and say, whoa, I know that Ayuma kid, he was wonderful today. See his ability on the ball, how he glided past 3-4 players. I want to say that. That is what I want to come on this channel to do. But I can't come on this channel to lie because I want to be positive about somebody, because he's not that kind of player at this point in his career anyway. Then Emerick Korabo, while he showed good pace running in, like I said, he should have done better with the 1v1 opportunity he had, though the keeper pulled up a very good save. And then he should learn composure. I know he's very young, that's something he has to really learn, because you miss chances as a striker. Next thing for you is to be composed on the ball, have a measured mindset. I'm going to get the next chance, I'll go again, I'll be calm 1v1. And he was snatching at a lot of shots after that first 1v1 opportunity, but I think he's still a very, very good talent, and I want to see him in the next game because you can see what he's all about, right? Apart from, and then I want Agada to start alongside was his face, Emerick Korabo, but he came off the bench. And then Salihu scored. He got the opening goal for Nigeria, so fair play to him, top marks for him. But apart from that goal, did he really do much else? But you would say scoring goals is what football is all about. Fair play, he got the goal. And then Saudi Arabia got the equalizer, and then Ochoche, that goal should be goal of the tournament. It's already goal of the tournament right now. First of all, it was well worked. It seemed like something walked off the training ground, so top mark to Zubairu if that's the case. And then the way he finished that, from that acute odd angle into the top left hand corner or top right hand corner, that was an absolute class finish. At any level of football, that was absolutely El Fuego finish. So brilliant in that regard. And then talking about Sani Suleiman, I saw bits of him, in the game versus Norway, and I said he should start going into this game. And fair play, he started. And wow, that guy, he has potential. I'm not going to go crazy and say he's a new Nigerian Messi. No, he showed potential. He could go 1v1. And one thing I like about wingers is I get the ball, I'm not, on my heels. I'll go at you, and then I'm looking to take you on each time I meet you. That's one thing I love about wingers. That's the kind of wingers I like. And Sani Suleiman is showing that he is that type of player. He gets the ball, he's willing to guard his man. And he can go either way. He can go out on his left foot like he did for the assist for the opener with the left foot, with delightfully crafted left foot cross, and then he can also go on his right foot. So you rarely see wingers that can do that. Even the world class ones, some of them just have a left foot and a right peg. Some of them have a right foot and a left peg, meaning that their left foot doesn't function apart from keeping them standing. So he was impressive in that regard, and at some point he began to get tired, and I think he should have got a penalty in that game. For whatever reason, Zubairu, he decided to save his VAR review request in his pockets. It doesn't diminish after the first game. After a game, it renews for the next one. So I don't know what he was doing there. That should have been a penalty. And then the second goal, like I said, the Saudi player got the goal, and that goal, I was just watching and said, how is this happening? Goalkeeper, how are you so far off your line when you don't have to be? Considered the goal, I was like, wow, this is going to be a draw, because with a draw, you're most likely not going to qualify from this group, because you've already lost one. And then 6 minutes added, Agada comes on a couple of minutes prior to the injury time, and then you could see his forcefulness, you could see his aggressiveness, you could see his ability on the ball to drive it. Although, like I said, he can be a bit selfish. There was an opportunity he had, you could have squared the ball back. He decided to attempt to score from one of the most acute angles in the world you ever see a player try to do that, and he just true to form smashed off the foot of the post and went out. But he put the pressure on the defender that considered the penalty, and then Bameyi, Bameyi Klaus tucked in the penalty, well taken. Top marks for them. So I wouldn't mind in the next game versus Colombia seeing Nigeria going with Areri Porabo and Charles Agada as a strike pairing, because I think they will complement each other. While he is just robust, an absolute force of nature, the way he moves, he can bamboozle or bulldoze through 2-3 players. So you have Areri Porabo alongside him. I think that will work a treat. And one guy I must talk about, I won't forgive myself, I don't talk about him on this video. He is Tahir Meghana, plays for Wireless FC. He's not the finished product, obviously. Young players, they have a ways to go in their career still. But my word, the guy, he has what we call the tools of the trade with his feet. Dazzling, beautiful feet. Glide path players like they're not there. So top marks on that one, but he can be a bit too selfish sometimes. You find out with young wingers, and he can hold on to the ball a tad too long, in my opinion. And sometimes he may just want to go for a worldy strike where there's none. But sometimes if those strike go in, we say wonderful strike has gone in. But overall, top marks to him. A very inspirational story. You know what happened to his family, where he's come from, how he's moved on to this place. I'm sure he gets a very well-deserved move after this competition. So, my opinion on the game was really messy performance. It wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination. 1 or 2 individual okay performances, okay to decent performances, but overall happy to get 3 points. And then moving on to the next game versus Colombia. Hopefully that will be a more measured and controlled performance, where hopefully Nigeria gets a win as well. So, and then you can top the group saying that Norway and Colombia drew earlier in the day. So at this point, I've come to the end of this video. Forgive me for it was a long one. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on yet another video. Stay well, stay blessed. Bye bye.